Welcome, everyone, to another episode of AIME's Grow and Get It. I'm Tom Ahles, President of Growth with AIME. Today, I get the honor and privilege to sit with Mr. Kurt W. Strandson, certified mortgage planner, broker owner, Pinnacle Mortgage Corporation, based out of New Hampshire. Kurt and I, like a lot of brokers, we know each other. We don't get a lot of time to connect. Really thankful to have you on this call. As you mentioned, you were at National Mortgage Broker Day last year. You're going to be there again this year, supporting the channel, doing the right thing, trying to help other community members like you're doing today. When someone asks for help, you raise your hand. I'm thankful for good brokers like you in our industry, Kurt, and thank you for being here today.
Tom, thanks for having me. I'm happy to participate and help the channel.
Yep. So, this episode, we keep it short and sweet, right? Go out and grow and get it. And I always like to highlight something that some of our members are doing that's really helping. Might be a process, might be a skill set. For you, though, one of the things that you are really good at that's allowing you to keep getting referrals is you have a follow-up plan for processing outgoing referrals. Why don't you share that with me?
Yeah, a lot of, loan officers think the only way you're going to get business is you go wine and dine realtors. And there's a lot of other industries that have a lot of synergy with mortgage origination and mortgage needs. And we target 5 or 6 different industries: attorneys, CPAs, financial planners, home and auto, and life insurance folks, because they have a lot of high contacts throughout the day. And a lot of them, when we meet and talk with them, they have the same feedback, and it's somewhat negative, is that, I sent 15 leads and I didn't get anything returned. We call that in New England Kevin McHale syndrome. Kevin McHale, one of the big 3, Robert Parrish, Larry Bird, you throw the ball into Kevin McHale, he never threw it back. I actually, before I got on this morning, looked up his career stats. It was 1.7 average assists a game. And he's,
Wow.
He's a Hall of Fame power forward. But, loan officers can't be Kevin McHale's. And it's same thing with the realtors. Realtors will dump you 15, 20 deals. And next thing you know, they're like, well, why aren't you sending them anything back? People. The average person, I think the circle of influence is 282 people is the average person has for contacts. So people that need those services, and you have to add value to your referral partners. A lot of people say, well, why would you want a home and auto guy? They're at the end of the transaction. Yeah, but they also have a book of business, and they also have a circle of influence. They're usually involved in chamber of commerces, civic organizations, nonprofits. They know people. And if you identify to them as a professional who they can rely on to confidently send business to, then you're creating an opportunity for an ongoing, consistent relationship. A lot of times you get a deal, try me out, give me a chance. You're asking for one deal. The business proposition is, hey, I want to add, professionals to my database that I can confidently refer my people to. And it kind of recession proofs your database and your business a little bit, because if you're solely relying on realtors, your business is going to mirror those particular realtors' volume. So if there are peaks and valleys, if they go on a vacation in January, I have one of my best realtors, took the whole month of January, went to Key West. God bless them. I was jealous. I looked at my calendar a few times like, I want to come down and visit you. But you know what? His business in February and March struggled greatly. Yep. So you have to be willing to give business back and forth, and you have to be focused on it. We've been out to UWM a bunch in the last 3 or 4 months, and Matt Ishbia talks about it all the time. It's the time that you have to embrace the suck, and you have to really grind it out, and you have to build and form genuine relationships. And one of the ways to do that, to get attention from other business partners, is say, how can I help improve your business? How can I help? What's a good referral for you? And then you find a way to help add value to them, so they're going to want to have a sustainable, continued relationship.
Wow. That's really solid. I would say, as I look at, for me on my own personal originations, obviously a real estate agents, everybody's going after. Some do financial advisors. You mentioned, property and casualty insurance. To me, those have been one of my best referrals. And I think the one thing that resonated me a lot with what you said is each person's sphere of influence. If you have 5 partners, homeowners insurance, wealth management, and you take even 5 of those with the sphere of influence, and I'll round up, I'm a mortgage guy, I like to exaggerate a tad bit. We'll just call it 300 people. That's 1,500 people that are your cheerleaders. And by investing into that relationship like you're doing, you hit it on the head. You're not only diversifying, but you're creating a recession-proof business, because even in the slowest times of markets, out of 1,500 people, 5-10% of them are buying, a year, almost guaranteed, regardless what the market's doing. They go through divorces, they have growing families, they got a great job raise, and they no longer want to live in a condo. Wicked smart. So, to me, insurance agents are our most easy referral, right? Those are ones that we actually expect, like we expect agents to send us deals, right?
Yeah.
Insurance agents the same way. And I think it's a very underutilized referral source. For me, my insurance agent, every time he gets a request to update the policy to Rocket Mortgage, for example, he sends that to me. And he says, hey, just want to let you know, this person's about to refinance with Rocket. And he hates Rocket because, same reason we do. That as soon as they get in there, if you go and look at their disclosure for all of their affiliated companies, they're buying the data and just selling it to everybody or sharing it with everyone to try to network with them. So super good advice, Kurt. I really like that. Using these follow-up processes that you have, what are the most common roadblocks you've run into and learned to manage or avoid?
You have to have organization and you have to have systems and structure. A lot of folks come in and, oh yeah, I'm going to go meet with someone, and they have a great meeting and that's it. They don't follow up. They don't send a personal note thanking them for their time, which is professional. That's not a thing that you're used to seeing in this day and age. But they don't sequence the next event, the next contact, and the follow up consistently. And if you put in systems in place, you have your e-blast that go out with professional data information that's useful to them. Put them in your personal database. They get your materials. They get the mailers you send or the magnets you're going to send with sports calendars. Or, in New England, we're big sports people. So you send a Red Sox calendar magnet, a Patriots one, a Bruin one, a Celtics one. 4 seasons, you got magnets going out, year-end calendars. But you have to stay in front of them, and then stay in front of them on social media as well. The average person responds to a message or sees a message within 3 seconds. I just had our sales meeting yesterday with our team, and I'm like, it's barbecue season. Next 10 or 12 days, it's barbecue season. Guess what people are doing sitting at barbecues, looking at their phone? I said, dial up your social media content for the next 14 days. Get a post out every day, every other day. Go to your brand 360, set the calendar once a day. So you're top of mind, you're in front of them. And when you consistently set up those systems to be constantly getting in front of people and in front of those circles of influence, and then add people. We have people set up 3 databases: their personal database, their business network, and their realtor database. So you have different funnels going out with different sets of information, and you stay in front of them. And that creates a sense of loyalty. I saw a crazy statistic a few months ago that 91% of people are willing to refer you, but only 11% of salespeople ask or teach them how to refer them. That's a big gap. Our idea is, let's close that gap. Let's find ways to get in front of them, stay in front of them, add value, present in a professional manner, but also train them to refer us. That's the biggest key. And I think if loan officers learn to do that on the broker channel, we're faster, we're cheaper, we have more options, right? So if retail, I don't care if retail hears what we're saying, they're more expensive. Financial planners, when they find out I priced out a guy looking to potentially come on board yesterday, they were 1.5%, 150 basis points more expensive still in this market. So if I'm fighting with a financial planner to gain their referrals, that's, they're a financial planner. They have a fiduciary responsibility. Same thing with life insurance folks and other CPAs and accountants. When you have your non-QM bucket of self-employed products, that's a door opener. And CPAs and accountants, a lot of times, are sitting down doing their, quarterly or annual reviews with their self-employed borrowers. It's 4 opportunities to refer you, but they don't know how to refer you if you don't stay in front of them. Make sure they have one of your calendars or mugs or something on their desk. So when the person's sitting there, well, who's this person? But those systems and that structure and that organization, again, and I firmly believe this, it builds a recession-proof business. I dug into a referral business in April of 2008, and I got into coaching it for a year. And we all know in November of 2008 was the big Wall Street collapse. My business went up 38% in 2009 because I learned how to refer out, and that helps people want to continue a consistent referral partnership. And like I said, I use the word recession-proofs your business, but it does.
Yeah, that's solid, Kurt. And I think one of the words that I use that's similar to what you're saying is understanding how to cross-sell, right? If you teach your partners how to cross sell, it's the same for me. If I have a client call me and, hey, we found you were interested in getting pre-approved for a home, and not just, hey, do you need an agent? I have someone for you. The answer is going to be no, right? And more of the time, no, we have a family friend. But when you effectively learn how to cross sell, hey, I wanted to let you know there's a ton of agents. You may have one. I work with the very best, and I see what the difference is between mediocre and maybe just using a family friend compared to somebody that does this day in and day out, that's seen situations and know how to navigate it. I really think it'd be in your best interest to have a conversation with them. Successful cross selling builds more referrals, builds stronger relationships. Kurt, we always keep it short and sweet. To me, if someone didn't get something from this, I know for me, I always go back. Not only do I watch them, but I also execute on the task. And, one of the biggest nuggets that I will say that you gave that is really, like you mentioned, it's common. It should be common sense, but only 11% of the people are doing it. If you're going and using like a service like UWM for Agent Connect, and you go and have that meeting and you don't have a follow-up plan, you're not going to create a relationship by just going and meeting and talking one time. It takes effort and it takes systems to make sure that you have a repeatable process, and it's clear that's what you're doing, and especially why you're winning in your market and standing out from others from the professionalism that you show. And you show that in every aspect. You show it within our community with AIME, you show it with your brokers, and you show it with your loan officers. And Kurt, I can't thank you enough for being here today.
I appreciate it, Tom. And as they say, you can't just run the play, you got to finish the game. And that's where that follow-up piece comes into play.
I love it. I love it a lot, my friend. Well, thank you everyone for joining us for this episode of AIME's Grow and Get It. If you want to look for more tips or tricks or something you're looking to give your business a little bit of an edge to get pick up a new tactic, tune in to this every Monday. We're in the Brokers Are Better group at noon where it airs. If you're looking for past episodes, go to our YouTube page at AIME National. Tons of good information from amazing brokers like Kurt Strandson. Thank you again for being here. We hope you go out and grow and get it.
Thank you, Tom.